Bonjour, how are ya? How was ya? How you gonna be? Right, what are we, day 7 now? I think I'm gonna keep it pretty simple today. Got dark, got cold, ended up going to a location and then bumping into this guy that was basically running a block of flats with vulnerable people in, and he's been in the support game for a long time and, you know, dealing with the powers that be and all this, and it just got chatting, and obviously we're both very similar people and couldn't shut up, and then time went by and it got dark, so I had to come find a different location that's lit up. So feeling a bit blue today, and I reckon keeping it simple because of lack of time and light, and it's freezing cold, feeling a bit under the weather because food and exercise are obviously quite good, but the recovery, the rest, and then being out traipsing around and then accidentally getting caught out and having a long conversation with someone, because again, like, living this life of service and fighting for the people and promoting healthy lifestyles and combating the powers that be and all the mental health stuff, and it's worthwhile, but it's draining, man. Running around and standing in the cold and all this, like, if you've got enough room to do this stuff at home, if you've got a garden, you're blessed. The fact is, I'm proving that you don't need nothing. And by nothing, I don't mean something. I mean, you don't need anything. So you can be anywhere, any health condition, poverty, no home, whatever it is. You can think of whatever excuse you want, then consider whether you want to use it. I've got plenty of excuses, more than most. Still not going to use them, because if I use them, then I become weak, I become pathetic, then I don't respect myself, then I won't be able to help other people, then other people are going to be in worse positions. So really, as much as I try and drill it into you to look after yourself, number one, I suppose I'm kind of going against that in some way, where my focus is to get this message out there, to inspire you lot to carry on and join in and elevate yourselves, and not need someone else to motivate you or to pat you on the back or give you a kick up the bum. To become fully self-sufficient and be able to overcome the adversities, the traumas, the unforeseen circumstances, the change of situation. Like I said, I had a plan, but then I engaged with someone and I felt they were worth my time. So my plan just disappeared and I fully 100% present there. Now I have a new contact. See how things go, possibly a new friend. So there's so much more potential and opportunity from being able to be flexible and to switch up what you're doing at the drop of a hat to enhance your possible output in the future. And obviously for me, doing the service stuff, I'm connecting with all these other pretty amazing people. Now, the people that have been doing it from day one, like this guy's been in the circuit for decades and he's in his own area, so he knows what's going on, he knows the people, you know, he's built community, he's connected community, he's supporting. So when you're doing that in your own area and you've lived it and you've got your lived experience and years of like history weight in the game, that they're the most powerful people. They're the ones that can make changes. Then to be able to articulate yourself and to be going to the right meetings and meeting the governors, the people at the top that hold all the money and pretend they don't have any. So you need to engage in many different rituals and routines for yourself to put you in a good standing. Now this guy is obviously powerful because he knows so many people, he knows the area so well, he's got lived experience himself, and very friendly, open and outgoing person. Whereas a lot of these community centres and charities and stuff, they'll employ people, one, that can't speak English properly, and it's in England, so that's a pretty important job requirement. Two, from the other side of town, so you never lived here, you don't know the history, you don't know the culture, you don't even know the area. So you don't know what's going on in the area, you don't know who needs what, you haven't got any rapport with the locals. So these people, they do their job for maybe 6 to 18 months roughly, and then they're off and they're gone. So really, all these people that have invested their time and energy and vulnerabilized themselves and opened up and connected and shared their story, well, that's all gone to shit now. That's gone out the window with that person. So now they've got to open up and go through it all again and then again and then again. So people don't want to do that. It's difficult, it's stressful, it's tough, it's personal. So to have passionate people that live in the area that have been through stuff themselves and seen the services and the way the system's working, the area's working, the council's working, what's available, what's in the park, what little groups or community groups or support groups are there. So where we're bringing in these foreigners, aliens, to the area, and they're saying, all right, and they don't even have people skills, where they can't even smile when you walk in the room, because when we're dealing with vulnerable people, trauma, mental health, all that stuff, you need to be greeted with a happy person, a smiley, friendly, open, loving energy, someone that's going to accept you and welcome you in. Whereas most of these things I've seen, they're miserable fuckers. They don't want to be there, they don't want to do the job, a lot of them are crap at their job. I've had plenty of these organisations say, oh, we want you, come work for us. And I say, okay, if I work for you, I have high standards and integrity, so you're going to have to sack all these people because they're shit at their job, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know about the area, they're not passionate, they're not friendly, they're part of the problem. So when you've got people that have issues and they want support, they come to this place to get that advice and whatever it is that they need, and they're met with, what do you want? Have you tried this? It's so then people aren't going to engage. So there's a bunch of these little charity support group things set up, but most of them are shit, because the people that are running them, they don't know about themselves, they haven't had the right experience, they haven't studied the facts, they don't know the area. There's, I can bitch and whinge about it all night. Point is that there is something beautiful that's been set up, but it's run badly, and when it's run badly, it puts people off. Plus, if it's not advertised, how are people going to know about it? So then you're getting people in and out, the staff as well as the customer. So no one's connecting. You go, you want to get something off your chest, get some advice, get a bit of support, get some direction. So you go to a place, and when they're crap, and I'm supposed to be on a waiting list for something that they never got back to me about 2-3 years ago. And this is not the first time. Loads of us have these issues. Same with the hospitals. The hospitals say, oh yeah, you'll have this appointment on such and such a day, then they don't tell you they've cancelled it, and you turn up, and then or they cancel it, or they haven't cancelled it, you try and change it, then they say that you didn't turn up. It's just, left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. So from all that experience, what I've come to realise is that they ain't going to help, we have to help ourselves. So we have to connect with each other, build these communities, and communities are very static as well. We want to be evolving together and moving and building and creating more opportunities, coming up with new ideas and ways to help and support and benefit the area, change the area, more open spaces, more accessible free activities, like whether it be community centres, sports centres, youth centres, something that's for us, that's run by us. And that seems to be the best way where people actually connect, by knowing each other's names and saying hello to each other and meeting outside of, you know, there's these, like, when you're in these professional circles, a lot of the time you have to say, right, I won't share my story with the client, I don't like that word, you know, service user, terrible. So they're not allowed to share their story with the customer, therefore there's no connection. It's, you know, and then there's a power imbalance because one's in charge and the other one's not. So we're creating a divide within these supposedly supportive places. So what we need to do is to build and to grow as we build and to connect everyone. Because look, right, here's a good example. When I was in Brazil, I had done a little bit of, not like proper research, but I'd heard a few things, seen a couple of documentaries kind of thing. So I weren't well clued up. But I said before going there's one thing I'm not doing, and that's going to the favelas, because they sound insane. When I got there, the second day I moved in to the favela. Then I started to see what is actually happening. So the area is run by a gang. The gang are making money through drug dealing or whatever. So they make sure that they don't have the police not sniffing around, because they want to operate their business. So in order for that to happen, because the police are corrupt as anything out there, they become the government for the area, for the favela. So they make sure that no one's getting robbed, raped, beaten, whatever. So everything runs pretty smoothly, unless another gang wants to take over. But that's not as frequent as some people might think. Then they pacify the favela, which is when they bring the police in. And when the police come in, then there's a bit of chaos, there's violence, there's shootings, there's, you know, blah blah whatever. The police take the drugs, and they are corrupt as fuck out there. I mean, we're legally corrupt in this country, but they're you know, yeah. So the police come in, they pacify the favela, so they're all standing around with their guns and everything, and they don't do any work, they don't do anything, they don't care about the community, they don't care about the people, they look down on them, they spit on them, they shame them. So then all the robbing and raping and everything else starts happening again. Victim goes to the police say, what do you want me to do about it? I don't give a fuck. Yeah? But even when I was out there, I was kidnapped by the police. I was threatened, my life was threatened. I never had no problems with the favelas and the gangs and all that stuff. So it's very similar, that structure, the gang that owns the area and operate for their own financial gain, but they look after the people. Whereas when you look at the governments who do a similar, very similar situation, and police are public servants, they're supposed to serve us, not the powers. So they manage to run everything, tell everyone what to do. But then when shit gets on top and people really need help, they don't want to know. So I feel that if we operate very similar to the favela system, and if you want to get help with something, it's best to speak to someone with experience, not qualifications, experience in that field. So if I'm an alcoholic and then I remedy that issue, another alcoholic is going to benefit better coming to see me than they are to see a doctor that doesn't drink. If you're going to, say you want a burglar alarm system on your home, you don't want to go through the burglar alarm companies or the corporate stuff. You want to go to the criminals that break in and ask them how to rig your place up. So even someone that is really struggling mentally, like they're a bit effed up, struggling to just operate, but they've been through a lot of stuff, they could still be a better person to go to than a mental health professional, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a counsellor, a therapist, whatever. My experience with those people, the counsellors and all that, is shit. I think I had one support worker at one point that was really good, then he left to go and open his own practice. Apart from that, I've been running around these circles for about 8 years now and met loads of people, support workers, therapists, counsellors. I've had my own sessions, I've delivered my own sessions. They've supposedly supported me, and I've supported them and helped them change their business. So I've got a bit of experience in it. And it seems like the people that are supposed to help us, firstly, one, we might not know we need help. Two, where do we get help? If it's not advertised, how are we supposed to know? Three, then you're on a waiting list. Four, then you go to the person or the place and the support is subpar because they don't have any experience. Then you go back and, oh no, that person's gone, so someone else is going to take care, and you've got to open all your stuff up. So it seems like all that just seems like a pile of bollocks, mate. And the way I look at it is we can reach success, greatness, freedom, maximum health, output, human potential, all that for free without any support. We just need to know how to unlock these things. So if we've got people that are sharing crappy information that's not supportive for us, it's not helping us grow and change and be self-sufficient and love ourselves, respect ourselves and all that, then we become part of the system. We're then looking for people to direct us, guide us, do everything for us. Like where they get us trapped on medication, so we've got to keep going back. They get all, their little backhands, and we won't go into that financial stuff, but if we can really commit to our community, to ourselves first, understand ourselves and what we need and what we want, where we're going, what we've been through, how we manage things, how to get out of bad situations, how to avoid them, how to live a good, happy, healthy, clean, harmonious life, then we need to share that with our community. And if we can do that and other people see that, because this is what I do when I'm doing these like flags and levers and like handstands on high things and just interesting stuff, people then gravitate towards me. They want to know. Then I say, well, look, it's not just copying the move over and over again, the repetition, it's in here. Like with the calisthenics stuff, it's way more interesting and beneficial than any of these weightlifting or other programs. Martial arts is a great thing. Again, it's calisthenics. It's beautiful movement, right? Beautiful strength. So we don't need all this stuff from outside. We don't need all these support systems and services. We don't need all this. What we need to do is look at ourselves, figure out how we can live our best life, and then educate those around us to do the same. Other people will see that, just like they see me doing a flag and then they want to know, oh, yo, what's going on? How do I da-da-da? It's like, right, now I've got you. I'm going to educate you on how to live and how to look after yourself. It's not like I'm going out seeking these people. They come to me because they feel that energy. So if we can all operate like that, where we're all doing great things and other people want to be like us, imagine this, like you go out in your area, you do some good things, someone sees you across the road, so they start doing good things, and someone sees them, and it snowballs throughout the whole area, and then our area's looking nice, then the other area looks at us and goes, well, hold on, why do they all look so happy and friendly, and why is their area clean? So then they start doing it, and then it snowballs. And we don't need any people in power to give us a yes and a no and the 3 bags full. Obviously there's laws, but again, some of these laws are stupid, and people are getting arrested or locked up for things they shouldn't be. If we assess how we behave, right, what is a good thing to do, law aside, other people's opinions aside, and just really break it down to what the best thing to do as a human is, how to look after yourself, how to look after others and your area. It's pretty much what it boils down to. Now, if you've got a horrible person and they're doing horrible things to other people and they get hit, well, there's nothing wrong with that in my eyes. If they don't understand words, then you need to show them sometimes. So again, it's like, that's illegal, that's wrong, But really, morally, so we have to navigate life and our commitments and engagements all the time and try and figure out, is this right by legal standards, clinical standards, or is this right by heart, soul, love, respect, self, you know, all that? It's difficult, but really it's simple. So you just implement whatever makes you better and not to the detriment of anyone else or the planet, and then forget the rest. Very simple, no? So getting into this, so I reckon I'm cold, I'm feeling a bit rough around the edges because I'm not sleeping too good. So I'm gonna get into these. I think I'm gonna do the double pump, so 2 press and then 2 squat. So it's a 6 count burpee but with an extra press and then a squat chaser. So technically an 8 or a 10 count, you decide. Right, so stand up, join in. Right. So what I suggest we do is have a look around the area, have a look at what's going on. You know, if you see a notice board somewhere or anything stuck to a lamppost, have a look around, ask, go into the chemist, the library, wherever, just ask. And by doing that, you're then connecting with another human. Do you remember when we used to actually talk to each other? And I think part of that COVID mask game was kind of tied in with the divide thing. Can't see someone's face, puts you on edge. Can't see a smile, can't talk to each other, or some donut with a mask going, what are you saying, bruv? I can't understand. I had that in the hospital. No one wearing masks, just the one physio that I was seeing. She goes, oh, I've got to wear a mask. I was like, I can't understand you, I can't hear you. Oh, where's my job? I've got to wear a mask. But no one else here is wearing a fucking mask. And wasn't it, we were talking about all the plastic waste, and then everyone's wearing plastic masks and gloves? What's that about? So, again, what the fuck is it? What is this mask game? Do you know what I mean? As long as you ain't spitting on people. I don't understand, like the handrails, the tubes. I'm sorry, but it's so stupid. You either go all in or you don't do anything. Because all these stupid half-assed measures are costing the planet. You know, it's insane. So, just saying hello, just talking to someone, realizing that another person's just a human. Your teacher is just a human. Your doctor is just a human. The police, just humans. I mean, there could be some bullies, liars and assholes within there, but they're just humans. So don't think they're better than you because they read a book you didn't read, or got a couple of questions right. Obviously, there's some people that are absolutely amazing at what they do, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that. But I'm just trying to educate you on the fact that you're being programmed from the minute you're born. Like those first 7 years when you're in a theta state, meaning you're very susceptible to brainwashing, which is like where back in the day people used to listen to like language tapes going to sleep, or affirmation tapes, because when we're late at night and early in the morning, like before bed, not when you wake up, you're in that theta state again, meaning it's easier to brainwash you. So this is why people would do, listen to educational tapes, self-improvement tapes. What's going on there? And they, oh, for God's sake. So they would, it would get into their brain and stay there, basically. So these, that first 7 years is when we're we're new, innit? So we don't know nothing. We're looking around like, what, someone's showing me what's going on. How do I do this? How do I do that? What am I supposed to do? How do I talk? So we're just going, right, info. Probably the majority of that information we're absorbing is crap. It's bad, it's detrimental, it's stupid, it's wrong, it's false, it's useless. And then we don't know that at the time. As we get older, we solidify that within our own belief system. Then you try and teach an old dog new tricks. It's like, no, this is the way I've lived my whole life, so da-da-da-da-da. And people don't want to hear it. When you speak to someone older or of a higher status or qualification than yourself, and then you give them some information that could benefit their life and them as a person, but they don't want to hear it because they feel like you're dumber, weaker, stupid, whatever. They're more important, powerful, smarter, richer, whatever. So they don't want to hear it. And for someone to turn around to like one of these people that are up their own arse and tells them, yo, you're doing life wrong, and you've been doing it wrong your entire existence. That's a hard bit of news to take. Bless them. Oh, you got life wrong. Oh. But if it's true, and they're not going to acknowledge it as a possibility, then they get defensive, and then they're looking at you jealous. They're jealous that you figured life out more than they have. You've lived your way, which you enjoy, and they've had to do this for so many years. Now they're seeing, oh, hold on, wait, I did have options and I made these choices, so this is all my fault. But this guy seems to be pretty free, happy, healthy. Like, isn't work supposed to be, I had to do this and this and this and this, and everyone else should have to do this? And it's like, no, you're just dumb. You're stupider than the other person that figured life out and understands that it's all about your health first. Some people are so flipping rigid. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. So you've got the jealousy, but then you've also got the guilt, where they feel guilty, like they've let themselves down. They've told you should do things certain ways. Now they're realizing that they're realizing they were wrong, but they're not accepting they were wrong. So then they feel this guilt of, well, actually I might have ruined your life because I told you should do all this. But they're looking back at themselves thinking, well, I've actually ruined my life because I didn't realize that I had more options. I didn't realize that my choices were up to me. So then they get on their high horse, like, no, and they try and shun you and push you away. No. And again, this is division. If you ever go, no, then you're probably the dickhead with the problem. Because when you want to project yourself to the world, you create this image of who you are, in your head. And then you do, what would make me a good person? I know, I'll offer to pay for this, that, and the other. That doesn't make you a good person. That makes you controlling, if anything. To actually connect, like, with people's soul, people's heart, not to just dance around through life thinking you're doing, brushing your problems under the rug, pretending everything's fine in your life, so it appears to everyone, like you think everyone else is looking at you going, oh, what a lovely person. They never talk about anything negative. They always offer to pay for dinner. But really, this person is so stuck in their ways. The reason why they're offering this, that, and the other, and not being vulnerable and honest and talking about difficult, depressing things, because they want to appear that they've got it together. Just like an Instagram picture or whatever, where you take 1,000 pictures from the right angles and then you do the filters and, oh no, wait, let's do it again. It's all bullshit. Like, the reason why I look like shit and don't care about my clothes and I mean, don't get me wrong, I can tart myself up a little bit from time to time, but generally I just don't care, because what is inside me is way more attractive than whatever anyone's wearing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, oh, trust me, I've got a tie. Ties equal lies, you know what I'm saying? I am authentic, I am genuine, I am real, I am raw, I am natural. That's it. And then with that, I never have to remember a lie. I never have to try and appear better than someone else. I never have to try and put someone down. I never have to be offended by something someone else has said or an opinion they might have. So I'm at peace with me. I know the truth. You have your version of events. Like when people say, I'm living my truth. It's like, no, shut up, man. There's the truth. There's facts. There are grey areas within certain things, but generally it's very black and white. You behave well, or you don't. So I'm going to behave myself, and so are you. Get up. Let's go again. I need to check you're still there, man. Boo! excuse me. That's 10. So 40. Just getting too much cold air. That's halfway, that's 50. Well, let's go 54. Hey. Struggling. So that's 54, that's halfway of 108. Now, I felt it's been real hard to motivate myself to do these things, this challenge. But every time I push through that inner bitch that's going, no, don't do it, don't do it. Or someone goes, don't forget to rest, you don't want to burn out. You're right. But, man, I'm doing this to prove a point. I've done it before. I've done slightly easier ones, slightly harder ones. And yeah, it's the stress and frustration and just trying to think of another negative vibration that I've been in, like somewhere between like angry and upset, but like a new, not confusion, frustration, stress. It's like somewhere like why do I have to do this shit? Like what have I done? Why have I signed up to this? Like even when I left earlier to go to a spot and I psyched myself up for it, and then saw this guy, started chatting, because it was a spot on the way to the spot I was going to, and I sort of had a look, then saw the guy there. I was like, is that open? He's like, no, it's locked. And then we got into it. So it was just completely random, beautiful, but very unplanned and random. And you know, I was struggling already to, I really want to just have a day off and just rest and sit down and do nothing. But this month it's all about 30 days up and out, train, film, post, edit, all that, all around that, plus life and the coaching and whatever, and mentoring and stuff I do. So I just want to prove to everyone it's possible. Like one of the guys, he's disabled, blind and all that, old, never done burpees. He got into it. It's like, no, I'm going to do what you're doing. I didn't realise I could do this. I didn't realise my doctors and people were telling me don't do da. I was like, really? Okay. I mean, you've got to expect some kind of I don't know if I want to say expect. You've got to accept that there may be a limitation within that person's capabilities. But this guy has really pulled his finger out, and you know, going through this life stuff where like having a stroke and then losing vision, balance, a lot of different things, strength, you know, the mind state, you know, it messes you up. And then doctors say don't do this, don't do that, rah. Who said that they know everything? So my man has then gone, oh, what's a burpee? So I show him. He's like, oh, let me try. Oh, I didn't know I could do this. Is that right? Boom, boom. Very, very, very good. This man has an amazing attitude, and it's pushing me. So when he's telling me how proud he is of me, or how much I inspire him, you know, or oh, thank you, you're teaching me something I didn't know about myself. I love this. And then he's inspiring me. And at the end of the day, I'm in a way better physical standpoint, considering, I mean, I've got my bits going on, but even you won't even know how many problems I've got here, because I don't exhibit them. I've bitched and whinged about them enough, but the reason why I bitch and whinge about stuff is so that if I say things, someone might hear it and go, oh, I've got a solution to that, because I know my doctors were wrong. And, you know, anyway, this guy, he's got into these burpees and bam, 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 he's smashing them. He's every day, he's messaging me, yo, I've done my burpees, I hope you're getting yours, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, if I've got an old man can barely see and barely walk, messaging me going, I've done my burpees today, have you? How am I supposed to... I can't get out of it, can I? On that note, get up, come on, no slacking. That's one. That's two. Oh. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 1. 2. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 20. Just feel like there's something missing. Maybe I'm not. Just realised, yeah, I need more carbs, I think, because I like being keto mostly, but where I'm burning all this energy, I think I need to access the sugar stores a bit quicker. So, I mean, there's a lot of science around all this, what to eat, how much and when and why. But there's also this component of human magic that not a lot of people know about. We've all got it. It's like that, you know, that story where the mum lifts the car off the baby kind of thing. It's like, where's that from? Because that's not supposed to be possible. And then it comes into visualization. Like, there's been trials that have been done where people just visualize doing exercise and they made, I think it was about 30% gain from just visualizing it. So even if you want to be a bitch and not do the burpees, just to, when I'm doing it, close your eyes, your little bitch eyes, and then pretend you're doing them, and you might get some benefit from it. But that's still cheating. There is so much behind visualization. So even when I got guys in the park trying to do something, and they can't do it. So right, stop, take 3 deep breaths, yeah? Calm that nervous system down, close your eyes, drown out the noise, focus on you doing that move, whatever it is. Do it up, down, boom, up, down, boom, up, down, boom, 3 times, and then go again. And it's amazing the amount of progress I see just by stopping for 20 seconds, taking 3 breaths, visualizing the trick 3 times, or the move or whatever, and then going again. And the scientific studies prove, kind of like what we were saying about the theta state, where you're brainwashing yourself to believe, or someone's brainwashing you to believe something, like learning a language, affirmations, whatever. It's almost like that, where you're tapping into this part of your psyche that has too much rational thinking and tries to make sense of everything, and then going, oh, and now you've got excuses. It's almost like tapping into that and going, right, see all these ideas and thoughts, junk, get rid of it. Right, clean slate. Right, here's me doing the thing. Here's me doing the thing again. Here's me doing the thing again. Then you're drilling that into your psyche. Then once your brain thinks that that's the fact, it tells your body that that's the fact, and then boom, all of a sudden you're excelling. You're going above and beyond what you thought was possible. Get up again, unless you're going to do your visualization. So, what's that? 90. So, 18 left to go. How are you feeling? It's good to check in with yourself. You know, the most important conversation you're ever going to have, it's the one you get called crazy for. It's the one you have with yourself. And we're constantly telling ourselves things. Truths, false, good, bad, helpful, useful, unsupportive, dangerous. So get used to being able to talk to yourself. I'm at a point where, well, I mean, look at me now, like, who's this weirdo talking to his camera? Even before I joined the year, I picked up this trick where, again, it's probably been done before, but I just thought it might be a good idea, so I started doing it, like I do with a lot of things. And a bunch of things in my past, I was the originator, the first one to do X, Y, Z. And I made a name for myself in certain circles for that. I think part of that is to be challenging and crazy and doing risky things, like with the ADHD, ASD brain, like dopamine stuff. So I needed to excel beyond the normal, because otherwise I don't get nothing. Like, I'm never here. I'm either up here or down there. And I didn't understand why. Through talking to myself, you know, it starts in your head, like, and physical signs start to show. Then a couple of words might, oh yeah, that thing. Yeah. A couple of words might fall out, and then next thing you know, you're having a full-blown, yeah, so what am I going to do with that thing? Yeah, that was a bit weird. When that guy done that thing, and then I was over there, and then it becomes normal. And I found it to actually be really helpful. People look at it like, a mate of mine who's actually gone missing. I don't know if that's, might have just lost his phone, but I'm concerned. Anyway, point is, he goes for me a little while ago, he goes, yeah, you don't end up talking to yourself like me. I was like, bruv, I've gone beyond that. Like, I would talk to myself, and no, because there's been times where I've bullied myself, and then there's been times where I've been grandiose and put myself on a bloody right at the top. And I've learned from both of those, and I think both of those places, there is a space for them in the right timing. So he says, yeah, don't talk to yourself like me, it's crazy. I'm thinking, shit, you don't even know. I started to, because I'd write, journaling, that was a massive game changer. Journal, pen and paper, not on your phone or computer. Write, pen and paper. If you're not doing it, you're fucking missing out. If you think you're good now, wait till you see what this does. I've got a mate that refuses to do it, just closed-minded, isn't it? And it's like, dude, the reason why you've got the certain problems you have is because you're not doing this. Oh, I'm not doing that. It's alright then. You know what I mean? Even my man goes to me, I was talking to him about journaling at the start of the year, because he was going through a certain situation kept coming up and getting the better of him in his mind. And he just kept refusing the journaling. He was like, oh, you keep preaching it to me. Like, I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, oh, I thought you might have taken that a bit more harshly. I was like, no, I'm preaching it because it works. Well, listen, mate, appreciate that, but the last few months of my life, I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. It's like, really, it's funny that time frame is when you started to listen to me for the first time ever, without mocking my hippie weird shit. It's like, look, I used to be like that. I used to be closed-minded. I used to be dumb and ignorant. I used to be like that. So I know how those people feel. You don't want to, like I was saying before, about you have this image of yourself, you project into the world. It's not true. It's not the same image coming out as you think it is. Plus, if you're trying to do that, you're a fucking liar. Simple as. Why are you trying to project an image? Why can't you just be you? Why can't you go out without your makeup or your fancy glad rags, and you know what I mean? Why can't you just bowl out unshaven, messy hair, Boris Johnson style? But why can't you just be authentically you? Like, the inner shines outwards. The outer is just a mask. So the more you put on that mask, the harder it is for the goodness to shine. And I pick up on that stuff now. You know, so this ignorance, like, my man goes, nah, I'm doing the best I've ever done. It's like, yeah, because you started listening to me. And it was actually burpees was one of the main things that I got him to implement. One was to stop eating crap that's not food, and the other one was to exercise, get a bike and do burpees. And, you know, obviously, because he's not journaling, because he's not open-minded enough to really respect himself, because he doesn't believe that there's a higher power or a god or something, it's just like that nihilistic, boring waste. And it's like, mate, you're gonna be fucking weak, pathetic and feeble. No one's gonna come to you. No one ever says you inspire me. No one ever says I want to be like you. Take that as a sign. So if you know, how are you going to take some of the stuff I've said to implement, because I 100% know this is my life, and I've never ever had any negative feedback ever on any of this stuff. It's like, not like I made it up, do you know what I mean? These are practices that go back thousands of years, like from the other side of the world. Some of this stuff you will never know about unless you go there. I mean, you can look stuff up online, but you'll never get like the feeling, the emotion, the importance, the connection with that thing unless you're actually there. So how are you going to only implement some of the things I say to do, and then you're like, yeah, I'm doing great because of that, but then you're going to turn your nose up at other things that I say to do that are super simple. One excuse is, oh, but it's on paper, I'm going to lose the paper. Well, no, it was because of the intake diary. So I got him to do a food diary. So I write on pen and paper because I wanted to get that to transition into the journaling. Now I just do it on my phone. It's like, no, it has to be on pen and paper. Refused. It's like, mate, what's wrong with you? Yeah, there's that, and that is very, very different. Very different. You're tapping different parts of your brain, right? I know all this to work because I've lived it, and I've had people even say to me, oh yeah, but exercise works for you. That's what you do. It's like, yeah, you dickhead, because I'm one of the most fucked up nutters out there. And I was going down a road that was probably going to be fairly short, let's be honest. Like, I had the most fucked up people I knew telling me I need to calm down. So now I understand who I am, why I was doing that, what the issues are. And I went through everything. I tried therapy, counselling, psychologists, psychiatrists, support workers, support groups, like, steering groups even. Like, I evolved so quickly because I'm from the road, from the street, from being around the world. I've got a lot under my belt that these idiots don't have. They're just, ooh, very clinical, ooh, buy the book, Well, they're all fucking wrong, mate. Not all of them, but, pretty much 99% of the ones I came across were all fucking shit. Some of them have got good hearts, some of them want to help, some of them care, some of them might have a couple of good ideas, but really, they're not looking at the full picture. Now, if you're not understanding that your thought process needs to be trained, you need to write your thoughts down, you need to organize them, you need to analyze them, you need to nurture them, you need to train them, you need to practice them. If you want the best. If you just want to be, like, I've got these people that try and tell me this one story at a time. Again, that's something else I've learned about myself, and I also know where it comes from. Hi, Dad. Love you. Thank you. So right, where was I? People telling me, oh, exercise works for you. It's like, yeah, do you exercise? Well, no. It's like, right, so you don't know it works. So shut up, end off, fuck off. The fucking science is there, and the fact is, if it works for me, 100% it's gonna work for you. You can't deny it. These bitches that are going, oh, but that's what you do, or that's what they do, or These bitches, like the conversation I had with this guy earlier, these bitches that are going, oh yeah, that person, oh, but my mum done this to me, my dad done that to me, oh, but this person done that, it's them. No ownership. So how do you expect to ever get anywhere? If you're not really understanding your brain, how it works, if you don't understand your nutrition, your body and what that needs, like, there's food that helps your brain, there's food that helps your body, there's food that helps your breathing, your immunity, there's also a load of poison, like the air, the water, and all these different foods. So until you actually understand what you're working with, your body and your brain, what your soul, your heart, what you're passionate about, what you love, what you need, the fuel you're putting in, whether it's poisonous or nutritional, the people you're around, including family, again, they're just people, doesn't matter if they're family. Some of them are fucking evil, toxic, ruthless, nasty. Some of them are beautiful, lovely people, but treat you like shit, or are up their own arse so much that the things they think are supportive are not. They're actually hindrances. They might be family members that you open up vulnerably to, and then they laugh at you or mock you or belittle you, shun you, push you away, ignore it, reject it. Fuck them. Like, at the end of the day, if someone's going to keep knocking on your door and spitting in your face, you stop answering the door. End of. Then maybe even you move away. So don't get too caught up in what people are saying. Think about what you're saying. Talk to yourself. Write to yourself. You know, maybe you've got someone close to you that died. Well, write to them. Tell them what they meant to you, how they changed your life, how you feel about them, the times you cherished. Maybe even if they were a bad person, tell them about the things that they done that hurt you. When I was young, blah blah, you know, what that effect that had on your life. So whether it's a good or a negative letter, just write to them, get it out, yeah? Then at the end, if they were good, tell them how much you love and appreciate them and what you're gonna do moving forwards in life with respect to them and the impact they've had on your life. So let's say they were kind to you. Well, you say, listen, you're not here no more, but you're going to keep living through me, and I'm going to go and be kind to someone else. I'm going to go and help my people. Or I'm going to be nice to random strangers. If there was a bad person, then you can write to them, and then at the end, you say, right, all these bad things you've done to me, I forgive you for them. And I also forgive myself for being a fool to allow that to happen. And moving forward, I'm going to take these lessons and I'm going to use them to grow and become a better person for it. And where you were nasty to me, I'm going to use that because I know what it feels like for someone to be nasty to me. So I know how other people in that situation feel, and I'm going to go and be their shining light, and I'm going to go and give them kindness and love and respect. And moving on from this day, I'm not going to let your bullshit that you put on me, because they were your problems that you projected onto me, then I openly accepted them. Well, I'm not going to accept them anymore. You can have them back. You can take them to your grave with you. I'm done. Thank you very much. Thank you for the lessons. Now moving on, I'm going to promise you that I'm never going to end up like you, and I'm going to show you how to behave as a human. So whether it's a positive or a negative, you're literally just healing that wound by acknowledging the situation, the loss, acknowledging what it meant to you and how it made you feel and what you went through, then accepting it for that is what it is. You had what you had, it's gone. Now you're here, you're dealing with this, and then you're going to let it go. Because once you've accepted it, now you can acknowledge that it's not yours to carry anymore. So you accept it, you give it back, and then you let it go, moving into the future without that weight holding you down. But it's still there, you don't forget it, you just let it go. You don't let it control you anymore. And with that, you use that, you keep that as your fire burning in your soul, in your heart, to keep you going. So if it was, say you buried your child, you use that as fuel, like the anger and upsetness and frustration around that, you use that as fuel. If it was a horrible person that beat you, you use that pain from that experience as fuel. And then you use that fuel to accomplish great things. You don't use that to then go and unleash the same crap on everyone else and burden everyone with your negative behaviors. You use that as fuel to go and do good. So get up. Gotta check you're still here. Yeah, alright. Up. Come on, no bullshit. Right, let's go. So it's only 18. Did you see that? Let's start again. I went to get up and down at the same time. Yeah. halfway. Damn. So that's 108 double time burpees. I call them double time because it's double press, double squat. Really, it should be press, jump in, jump out, press, jump in, up. Then that'll be a proper one. Yeah. Sorry, I'm zoning out. Yeah, I've been trying to tell about 10 different stories at once. So, if you stuck with it, if you gained anything, let us know. But I'm proud of you. If you've joined in and you've gained something, you know, take notes when I'm talking. Don't take it as gospel, because I'm just a person. You know, we're all just idiots walking around saying shit. So I'm just sharing my insights, the lessons I've learned, the lessons I've not learned, things I've noticed, things I've seen, things I've been through, stories of people close to me, and just understand that you're only human, but you're fucking human. You're a magical being. You're a spiritual being. So there was something I touched on that I think I got sidetracked and didn't finish. Now I've forgotten what it is. Oh, so it was the talking to yourself. So I leveled up, and I don't know if it's leveling up or leveling down. I started filming myself talking to myself, partially because I had started talking to cameras to share insights, and there's another part of it as well, which is so we're living with a life-threatening illness and having all these difficult situations to deal with. I might not live long enough. I might drop dead, you know, whatever, or you know, lose cognitive functioning somehow. And I wanted there to be some evidence of who I really am left for my kids, so that if you want to know who someone is, you have to go to them and assess it yourself. You can't listen to someone else. If John says to Jim, oh, Joe's a bitch, well, how does Jim know? Jim's got to go and meet Joe. You can't just go, oh, John said he's a bitch, so he is. John might be a bitch and is just slagging someone else off. So people are always going to talk shit about you. Just know the truth, and this is why I can't drill it in enough. You need to know who you are, where you've been, what you've been through, what that's done to you, how you're managing it now, and how to move forwards. If you understand that, you're going to make life a lot easier, and you're going to become more authentic, more real, more honest, more open, more confident, more inspiring, stronger, smarter, braver, well-rounded, empathetic, supportive. Like, it's just everything, right? So I want to leave a legacy, which is a self-sufficient model where it's just basically disciples of discipline. I've gotten to a level where I've got to through a lot of fucking hard work and a lot of hellish traumatic times, and then I can educate someone else how to manage that, because it's not about what you've been through, it's about how you internalize it. That's the trauma. It's not the situation. Again, like I said, everything's within. The situation's the situation. Someone could punch me in my face and I go, someone could punch you in the face and then you cry and then never leave the house again. It's not about the situation, because we both dealt with it differently. It's about how you internalize it. So I've looked at it like, oh, something hit my face and now it's finished. So then I go carry on with my day. I can acknowledge it and be prepared for it next time, but I don't let it ruin my life. Whereas you may have, not saying, I'm not trying to dig you out or anything, but you may have took that as an insult to you and a threat to your life. So then you want to stay safe, which is why not? And then you go and stay, lock yourself in your home, and then you miss out on your life, and your life passes you by, and you've wasted it. It's about how we internalize. So if we look after our internals, our heart, our soul, our spirit, our gut, everything, our brain, the way we think, the way we move, the way we act, the way we talk. If we control all that and we govern it to a high level where we know who we are. So if anyone says anything, it doesn't wobble us, because we know the truth and their opinion is just the same as their arsehole. Everyone's got one. So then that doesn't wobble us by words. And if we look after ourselves and we've got the right nutrition and exercise and everything, then we become smart and strong. We've got to educate ourselves, not just go into classes, but to actually go home and study and learn, travel the world, learn like different experiences, different cultures, like I've lived with so many different, not that many I suppose, but quite a lot considering, but I've lived with all these different cultures in different countries, seen the way that they move, the way they act, the way they talk, their little expressions, their body language, the food, the activities, the weather. You can't gain any of that from a book. You cannot. Even learning a language, like you fucking learn a language in a school, yeah, then you go to a proper local area. They won't understand you because the slang and the twang is so different. I had this when I was in Costa Rica and I stayed with this family in the ghetto, and the old man was like, yeah, your Spanish is great. I was like, really? How come I can't understand anyone and no one can understand me? You know what I mean? It's the slang, we get so used, like even English, I'm sure you could critique the hell out of the way I speak, but bearing in mind, say about 10 years ago, I was way worse. Not as bad as these little pricks on the street, like, yeah bruv, nye, 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 like girls calling each other bruv, and nah, nah, nah. Like there's something grating about that voice. It's disgusting. Is that shit parents, shit teachers, or just the little kids are shit? Like, I don't understand where this, maybe it's the internet, maybe it's the Americanization of the accent and the words we use here. But these people, these are fools, man. They don't know how to talk, they don't know how to respect themselves, they don't know how to articulate themselves. Like, articulation is one of the biggest things you can learn. You can be big and strong, but if a man knows how to talk properly, he will burn that big man, just like that. No one will take you seriously. Like when I was going to these, on the mental health circuit, going to all these meetings and stuff, and steering groups and CCGs and all that, because I bowl up in a hoodie and a tracksuit, trainers, maybe a baseball cap, they look at me like I'm some punk. But then as soon as, in the early days, I was kind of just some punk because I didn't know how to speak or articulate myself, didn't know who I was, what I was going for or anything. Then as I started learning about myself and then learning how to talk properly, how to write properly, how to read better, like the basics, then I go, and they still think I'm a punk because of the way I'm dressed, but then as soon as I open my mouth, they all shit themselves because they're like, oh, was not expecting that. So I caught them off guard. It's like, yeah, I'll fight every one of you outside now. Attitude, that's what I look like. But then when I come in, I'm like, I'm just going to sit here calm and polite, and I'm going to tell you about you and your life and how wrong you are and how stupid your business is and where you're making mistakes, and I'll call you on all your bullshit, and then I'll back it up with evidence and some case studies. And I've got people outside that can attest to what I'm saying about your poor service. So now it's I'm getting to a point where, through talking to myself on the screen, for one, to share views, one, to leave something behind for my loved ones, one, to get used to my face and voice, because I hated my face and voice on camera. Now I actually don't mind. I think, well, 2 reasons, 3 reasons. One is because it's become more comfortable, because I've seen it so many times and I've gotten used to doing this. 2, I've got more reasons actually. 2, it's beneficial for me to grow. So where I'm doing this, I'm learning how to articulate myself. When you play it back and watch yourself and you realize you're going like, I know I'm doing it a bit, but I had a few words like, know what I mean, know what I mean, you know what I mean, know what I mean, know what I mean, get me, like, just shut up. You sound like an idiot, so you will be treated like an idiot. So it's helped me hone my speech and articulation. It's helped me become more confident in myself by being okay talking on a camera and watching it back and seeing my voice and hearing my face. You know what I mean? Get me? So that really helped. And then when I learn and critique and analyze that, I learn from that, then that helps me just in conversation with people on the street. So where I'm not on social media looking at everyone talking shit and blah blah blah. I'm actually looking at myself and then correcting myself and critiquing and commenting on myself and then figuring out how to get better. So I've been improving at how I express myself, the way I express myself, the place that I express myself, whether it's on camera, on a stage, one-to-one, group, whatever. So it's just understanding who I am and having that confidence in me, because the better I become, I see it and then I feel better about myself. So it is just practice and then evolution. I've sidebarred again, so I can't remember. You'll have to excuse this. I suppose the whole point of this is I'm here doing a challenge to raise awareness for men's mental health, suicide prevention, all that sort of stuff, because I have various different projects, because there's so many, like there's kids, there's youth, there's men, but then break it into those, and then there's old people, break it into those, and there's mental health conditions which are like made up ones, like anxiety and depression. It's all just made up within you. Or there's chemical imbalances like autism, ADHD. There's trauma. So again, it's not about what you've done or seen or been through, it's about the way you've internalized it. So again, that then breaks up into different. So there's so many. Then there's the dads, like guys that didn't have dads or role models, guys that have been fucked over by arsehole women and had their kids stolen, their marriage broken, their home stolen, their life ruined, you know, any one of them, or all of them. And I help people through that because I understand, I've been through similar stuff. So it's everything I'm doing, it's kind of like my project is my projection. I have weight in the game, I have experience, I have knowledge, I have insights, I have wisdom because of the perseverance of the training and the studies and the dissecting and analysing and and then putting it together to get positive outcomes every time. That's now wisdom. So the idea is that with my sort of ADHD brain, where it's going, oh look, oh look, oh look, oh look, oh. Like, if you think it's hard keeping up with me, how do you think I feel on my own? So it's having this challenge to raise awareness about men and kind of being that role model that they may not have, to have someone to look up to, someone to inspire them, someone to encourage them, someone to tell them they're proud of them, someone to push them, someone to give them a kick up the arse when they're being a bitch. So having that, And obviously I'm out here doing not right here, but when I'm in the parks and that, and I'm engaging with people, and like the guy I met earlier, to share information, to make connections, to see how we can all come together and make the world a better place, to make people healthy, happy and harmonious together. So there's all that. And then where I'm fearful of something new and the way I'm going to be perceived and received by you lot, so I don't know how I appear to you, to other people, and I'd like to know, because if you say, oh, you're really good with this, this and this, I'll be like, right, I'm going to focus on those and make them better. And then if you say, oh, that was bad, that was rubbish, well then I can hone in on them and make them better. So any feedback's great. I do encourage you to join in with the challenge, because it's a tie-in between a physical and a mental, but then we're also putting a bit of spiritual and emotional in there as well. So I want you to be joining in. I'm proving that not anyone, but I'm proving that this stuff can be done with mental, physical issues, poverty. You don't really need anything to look after yourself. So I'm proving it can be done, and I'm hoping that it's inspiring you, because all the last ones of these I've done, I got so much good feedback, but it wasn't till afterwards people were watching my videos and then going, oh yeah, like in December or the following year, oh, I was joining in with that, it was great. So why didn't you tell me? If you tell me that what I'm doing is working, and I'm going to have more confidence, I'm going to be more enthusiastic, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to push it out, I'm going to pick up more momentum. So feedback's great. I want you to be able to connect with what I'm saying somewhat. I mean, connect it or reject it, it's up to you. But I feel that there's a lot of life experiences that I've had, life and death all over the world, loss, massive loss, fucking this, that and the other. And I know that it's hard to find places to go and talk to people and get advice and get support. So I want to offer you some kind of, like, here's a fucked up, spastic, retard, crippled, donut, ignorant fool, whatever, and he's managed to do it. So if I've managed to build up that confidence, even with this ADHD brain, and that's where, when I come to this talk, I haven't planned anything. It's nothing scripted. It's all just raw and uncut, and probably a lot of it's bullshit. I don't know. It's up to you. Make of it what. If you make something of it, it's not. If you don't make something of it, it is. So to be able to, my love for calisthenics, sharing that to inspire, proving that it can be done anywhere by anyone, then having the talk so I'm getting better at it and hopefully get some feedback, critique, praise, whatever from you, so I know where to go. So then that's having like an outside source, because I can critique myself, but I'm not other people. Everyone has a different view. So to get different views, I can then level up myself on how I am as a person, and then how I deliver stuff to help and inspire and support others. And then it helps, like the way I'm just doing this off the cuff sort of bleh, I'm probably starting about 50 different topics and only maybe finishing one. But that helps with my ADHD brain. Just, I'll tie in whatever happened to me today, or someone I spoke to earlier. Like there was a guy I bumped into today, a mate of mine just come out of hospital. So then I bring them into what the play is today. Because I'm not mad on the news and the government and the media and all that bollocks. Like, you can go and get that stuff from elsewhere. Most of it's fucking smoke and mirrors and lies, and it's all to raise the fear vibration within us so we become weak and susceptible to illness and brainwashing. So I want to give this as a space where you can come and listen to some idiot talk shit, maybe gain something, but that's on you. You decide whether you gain something or find a lesson. And then when I step back and then do burpees, that's an opportunity for then you to do some exercise. So I'm kind of aiming to be your friend, your sponsor, your supporter, your inspiration, your coach, your motivation, your mum, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your daughter. Just like a place to be. And then in the comments, to have you lot, hopefully over time this will evolve, and then you lot can, well, I'll be creating communities, but you lot can actually share stories with each other. So I've got all these health issues and I'm here. I've got a life-threatening issue, I've got things in me the hospital's put in me that I need to be medicated for, I've got disability, arthritis, nerve damage, cognitive function issues, trauma, this, that, the other, whatever. Can you relate? You know, maybe someone has a rash and no one else has got a rash near them, and then they connect with someone on the comments, oh, I got that rash, and do you know what works? Not putting cream on it. You know what I mean? So if we can get some kind of collaboration of ideas and support going on that is not accessible or easily accessible or advertised anywhere else. Obviously this is kind of male focused, because that's the biggest problem. Women have a lot more support and help. Men and women are completely different, and we have different challenges in life, we go through different things, different epochs. So I'm not a female, I don't claim to be one. I don't know, maybe I'll start identifying as one and then have an operation next year or for Christmas, who knows. But right now I'm a man and I've lived a man's life, so I feel that if I've walked in your shoes, you can then respect where I'm coming from. Because that was something I had going through all this stuff. I felt like an imposter, I didn't feel I could help certain people. Now I do help, well, I've helped females as well throughout, but I've got better at it because now I understand the makeup of the brain, the makeup of the body, the things that are in, the things that are out. I understand what I'm doing now, and it took me probably about 6 years of doing this pretty much day in, day out, to get to a point where I go, right, got it, now I know I can help anyone. But up until that point, so that's been the last 2 years, and that's where I have another project where I go around, that I can go around the world and help people from anywhere, backgrounds, cultures, sexes, religions, whatever. But it took me about 6 years to get to a point where I felt confident enough to say that I am capable of helping anyone. And I can guarantee, it's not big-headed, it's just, it is what it is. This is my field, this is what I do. Through evidence, I've got plenty of evidence and reviews and references and everything to support everyone that knows me on the streets and in the parks, even in the tunnels. Like, just ask about me. Yeah, so it's believe me or don't believe me, it's on you. But I know I'm good at this. I now know I've gotten to a level, a proficient level, where I can guarantee I can help anyone on the planet. I can definitely give you something that will benefit your life, and I can stand by that, and I'm confident. And it took me a long time to get there, at least 6 years to get there, and that's almost every day, day in, day out, plus being in and out of hospitals, going through massive loss, you know, family stuff, health stuff, work stuff, my home flooding, you know, trying to do all this, like reaching out. And so I've been through a lot of personal experiences while I've been in this journey, which is almost like a blessing, because I now have the backing to, so where I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I've got all this life experience to prove that I do, because I'm living it. It's not like I just read it, because even in the early days I believed certain things that were said, you know. And then what I've realized is, as life has gone on and social media and internet and all that has grown, we've basically become a bunch of pussies. We're being bitches. Boys are trying to be girls, girls are trying to be boys. It's gone fucking mental. If you feel, okay, look, how's this one for the tranny stuff? Excuse me if I offend anyone. If you don't like it, turn it off. Everyone has their own views. I might not like your view. So let's just have opposing views and connect, because that's the only way we're ever going to learn. If you feel like you're someone else, trapped in someone else's body, that's just what it is. You feel like you're trapped in someone else's body. right? Then you need to manage it. How, I can't go, well, I feel like I'm black, and then go to the fucking hospital and get painted black and then be black for the rest of my life. So how that's because skin color doesn't actually fucking matter. It doesn't mean anything, but sex does. If you're saying that God has got it wrong for millennia, I don't see any animals getting fucking sex changes. So I don't understand it. I understand you can feel like not yourself in your body and how painful and stressful and difficult that can be, because I've been there. But to then go, it's almost like a quick fix. So that's your problem. Right, manage it. Learn to deal with that. If you feel that way, adapt. Like even if a dude's wearing girls' clothes, that's fine. Like, it's just clothes. Like, do what you want. But when you're really, like what happened in Africa with the FGM, like the genital, I've forgotten the word now. Mutilation. Genital mutilation. Isn't that the same as sex change? I don't understand it. I can't say I identify as a squirrel and then go and take a shit on someone's car roof and then not get arrested because I identify as a squirrel. I can't get an operation to get a squirrel tail put on. So we might be going through difficult, stressful, confusing things, and we might be very isolated. Tough shit. Sorry, but that's it. At the end of the day, everyone's got their own stuff to battle, so you got to figure it out. You can find a community that supports you or helps you, but also have a look at conflicting views. So if someone says boys are boys, girls are girls, the end, and you don't like that and that offends you, well, why don't you look into why they're saying that? Why don't you look into the history, the science, that person's experience? Why don't you engage and have these conversations? Because I feel that we're being such bitches nowadays that we're making stuff up, like this white privilege bollocks, where, oh, the prissy little snowflake, she's got everything she could possibly want. Now she's got to make up a problem. Like, I've had certain people, I've engaged with certain people, and you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't say that, you can't do. Oh, shut the fuck up, you pussy. It's people like that are the fucking problem. Someone said something and you got upset. Whose fault is that? Someone that said something might be a stupid idiot or ignorant, or they might be fucking right, but they're just the person that said something. The person's going, oh, you can't say that, you can't. That's manipulation, that's control, that's belittling, that's suppression. So the one that's going and throwing their fucking toys out of the pram, they're the one with the problem, and they are part of the problem moving forwards. All these fucking countries and everything's built on wars, on violence, on pillaging and raping and killing, and everything's built on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you got... See, I don't even want to talk about this stuff. Like, oh, the women going, oh, we don't need men. It's alright, well, don't use anything that men have done. Don't go in your house that men designed and built. Don't get in your car that men designed and built. Don't drive on the road that men designed and built. Don't use your phone that men designed and built. Do you know what I mean? I don't really care. If you feel like a boy or girl, you dress differently, you have more or less money, male, female, black, white, brown, yellow, green, orange, purple, I don't give a fuck. We're just people. If you're going to start kicking up a fuss because someone has a different view to you, you're the problem. I have different views to other people. People have different views to me, and that's fine. I'm still friends with them. We can still support a different football team and still like go out and have a walk and chat. It's alright. It's okay. No one's going to die. Relax. So whatever it is you're bitching about, if you're bitching and whinging, especially if you're going, you can't say that on your phone and your social media and all that. Shut up. No one cares. You're boring. Go and fucking sort your life out. All these bitches and whingers, have you ever had a hard situation, a difficult situation? Have you ever struggled and really, like, been in hell, really fucking suffered? Really, real pain, real fucking twisted up? Because when you're in that situation, You don't bitch and whinge. You don't complain about other people. You focus on how to get out of that situation and look after yourself and be good. So if all these people bitching and whinging on the computers and even in person, no, you can't say that and you got da 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 and do. If you lot just shut the fuck up and focused on yourself and realise that you're a magical being, that you're fucking insanely magical, and that you're connected to all these other people you disagree with. You're connected to everything. So if you start focusing on yourself and stop bitching and whinging about what someone else says, because it'll only hurt you if someone says something and you're offended, it's because you've attached something yourself to it. If you know the truth, it won't hurt you. If they said something you don't like it, is it true or false? If it's false, let it go. It's nonsense. It's insignificant. If it's true and it hurts, you got an option. That's a critique. You take it, you change. So press the bell, the like, the subscribe, the share, the thing, ping pong, ding dong dong dong, if you want. Share this with someone that you respect, that you think might gain something or needs to do burpees. And I'll catch you in the next. Day 7 done, 108 burpees with 108 press and 108 squat on top.